If you hear a sound in the background, they're not crickets, they're crickets. People of the tube. The Geek Week shout out goes to Ren Reveille. I'm gonna go with Ren Reveille, who stood in line at Otakon for 6 hours after just 2 hours sleep. Welcome to Ravlog, just a place where I can rant about socio-political topics and other important stuff. Sometimes I gotta vlog my rave. But today I really want to talk about whether or not foreign aid in general is a good or bad thing. It turns out that there is a gagwad of misconceptions that people have about foreign aid. And if this is where you think I'm going to bash foreign aid's head in with the rhetorical sledgehammer, I might have misled you a little bit with my video title. It's a trap! Alright, so let's move on to 3 of the biggest misconceptions on foreign aid and why they're not true. Misconception number 1. We shouldn't give foreign aid because it is inefficient. A lot of the money goes to waste and doesn't even reach the people we're trying to help. Okay, so this one's partially true, but let me make an illustration. Imagine that you're excited because your printer just arrived in the mail and you think it'd be pretty sweet to print pictures of your foot on your own foot. So somehow you manage to jam your foot down into the paper feeder, and one minor amputation later, you're trying to get a refund for your machine. Because it doesn't work, right? Makes sense. Maybe a bit of a rough illustration, but the point is, just because something is misused sometimes doesn't mean that it can't ever be used correctly. In fact, the vast majority of resources we give to other countries make it to their destinations and end up helping people with healthcare, clean water, education, and so many other things. Personally, I think this attack should be used as a challenge to make foreign aid run more efficiently, not a reason to throw out the entire printer. Misconception number 2. We spend too much money on foreign aid. The truth to this statement is that we spend too much money on foreign aid in kind of the same way we spend too much money on PBS. It's just not really breaking the bank. According to polls, people who think we spend too much money on foreign aid believe it costs the American government about 25% of their budget. And these people suggest that we trim foreign aid down to about 15%. So how much do we really spend on foreign aid? 24%. Lower. Is it 20%? No. Lower. 15 is 15%. 15%. It's, no. 10%? No. Lower. 7%. You got it? Really? No. Try less than 1%. I estimated that if a new bill that calls for some major reduction to foreign aid spending takes 1 month to pass, which probably wouldn't even happen if the bill was a good idea. In that 1 month period, about $57 billion would be spent on the defense budget alone, which is more money in 1 month than foreign aid tends to cost us in an entire year. And it's not just defense. I mean, there are a lot of things that we spend tons of money on. Passing a bill like that is kind of like saving a little scrub oak and the amount of time it takes for the entire forest around you to go up in flames. And at least I have my scrub oak. I named him Ralph. Ralph didn't make it, but he does this now. Misconception number 3. Living in the US, we have enough of our own problems. Charity begins with us. I apologize for the sudden change in venue. Look, I know times aren't easy, but this argument almost makes it sound like Americans are eating the lice out of each other's hair just to make it through the day. Get this, even if you're single and making 20 grand, which really isn't a lot in this country, you're still richer than roughly 94% of the world's population. What we call extreme poverty in this country, to a lot of other places, that's just called being alive. But on a more practical note, our investments in those other countries do help a lot of foreigners, but they also help strengthen U.S. business and diplomatic relationships with those countries. Enter the clincher. About 20% of American jobs rely on international trade, which depends on foreign aid. To be honest with you, I don't think we can afford to stop spending money on foreign aid. People of the tube, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Ravlog, and I'll see you next week.